Israel army accused of targeting Hamas military chief. Rocket sirens blare throughout the country as the truce breaks down. U.S. State Department calls for a ceasefire amid renewed violence. And Hamas fighters give a glimpse into their border tunnel network. Shalom and welcome to the Jerusalem Post News. Today is Wednesday, August 20th, and here are your top stories. Hamas claims that Israel targeted the group's armed wing leader Muhammad Deif in one of its airstrikes on Tuesday in the coastal territory. The Israeli military would not specify any of the targets of some 30 attacks across Gaza in response to the renewed rocket fire aimed at Israel. A Hamas official said Israel had ruptured the truce, alleging it was an order to assassinate Deif, but that only civilians were killed at the site of the attack. Palestinian health officials said 3 people were killed in a strike on a house in Gaza City, including a child and a woman. The 3rd victim was not identified. Israeli media said Israel had been targeting another leading Hamas militant in charge of rocket fire, but did not know whether or not he had survived the attack. Hours after rockets shattered the ceasefire agreement, 3 loud explosions were heard over Tel Aviv shortly before 11 p.m. for the first time in over a week. In total, the IDF said that 50 rockets were fired at Israel since 4 p.m. on Tuesday until around midnight. 6 rockets were intercepted by the Iron Dome rocket defense system. Rocket alert sirens were heard in Jerusalem, Beit Shemesh, Beersheba, Ashdod, Ashkelon, and in other communities, and the IDF confirmed that a rocket fell in an open area of Jerusalem. A spokesman for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Wednesday rejected Palestinian charges that Israel was to blame for a breakdown in ceasefire talks in Cairo, saying rocket fire from Gaza made the continuation of talks impossible. The U.S. State Department condemned the renewed violence in Gaza Tuesday, calling for an immediate ceasefire and a return to peace talks.
We are very concerned about today's developments, condemn the renewed rocket fire, and as we have said, Israel has a right to defend itself against such attacks.
When pressed as to the origin of the rocket fire, spokeswoman Marie Harf said that it had, quote, come from Gaza. Israel earlier said Palestinian militants fired rockets from Gaza on Tuesday in violation of the truce, attacks that swiftly drew airstrikes and the recall of Israeli negotiators from the peace talks in Cairo. Hamas fighters say they feel at home in their network of underground tunnels in the Gaza Strip. A rare tour that Hamas granted to a Reuters reporter, photographer, and a cameraman appeared to be an attempt to dispute Israel's claim that it had demolished all of the Islamist group's border infiltration tunnels during the Gaza war. The Hamas militants in the video claim that this is one of the tunnels which Israel claims to have destroyed. However, it remains intact, and their men are, quote, prepared for anything. It feels just like home, a commander says in the video. Fighters dug these tunnels with their own hands, just like they built their own homes. And that's all for today. Don't forget to go to JPOST.com and check out our Facebook page for more on these developing stories. Until tomorrow, shalom from the Jerusalem Post studio.